So that's some fun tonight. I figured out how to get Metron to its sequence, and it's a tricky little double, but I got a pretty good pattern going. And you can stop the sequence here by pressing record and reset. So the way this works in Metron, I found out, is pretty cool. So you can create your patterns. So if you want to do different patterns and load them, if you want to clear, you can hit the function clear buttons. So that will clear your patterns. So then that way you don't have anything. And then if it's running, you can put in your triggers. So for example, I have just these four. If I unmute them, there's going to be nothing because nothing's playing. But if I want to program, I would just do. So that's actually on page 8. I want to go to page 1. So it will start playing the sequence. And then I can play I can program the gates in here for Metron. And so the tricky thing is, with Metron, now it's actually working, of course. But I have some other stuff going on. But what's cool about this is, if I create a pattern and I don't like it, and I want to load what I had, I can press the memory button and I can prick load, and I can load my different patterns in here. So if I want to load everything I had, so let's see, I go load again. I don't know why it won't show load 5. I don't know why it's showing load 5, not load 1. I gotta ask about that. I'm trying to figure that part out. But so I hit that. I press again to load it. And now if I go fill, it will load my sequence. And I should start hearing stuff again. I'll turn my volume back up. I got my delay going. Turn the VCA down. So now I'm hearing my pattern, and record reset to stop it. And if I want to switch patterns to the ones I have, I would go fill, and then I can go fill A and see that pattern I have and record reset to play it again. And what's cool about this is, once you create a pattern, if I want to switch to another variation, I go A, and it instantly loads it. And then you can go B. So I got some different variations I created. So you press the fill, and then the C, and then fill again with D, and then E. So I don't have anything for E. So if I want to create something for E really quick, 8 bars, I can go here, boom, 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 boom. Actually, I want to go to page 1. That's where it starts, on page 1. All right, that's kind of lame. So if I want to copy that to 8 bars, I would go to 8. I'm going to unplug this stuff. Because that's annoying. I don't want to hear the oscillator. I had some stuff going earlier. So I get that. But let's say I want to copy that to 8 bars. I would turn the right encoder to 8, and I would hit this button that says duplicate and then pattern. Boom. Now I have 8 bars, which is cool. And so turn this down. Now if I want to save a pattern, I would go hit this little memory button, and I'd press save, and I select where I want to save it. So this encoder button here, you should have different places you can save it out. I think you can save up to like quite a few. I'm still going through the manual, so let's say I did 1, 2, and 3 already. I'll put 5, and I hit global again. So now if I want to load, if I'm playing a pattern, I want to load some other pattern, I would hit memory, load, and it brings the screen up on the first encoder. Now I'm trying to figure out why it only shows 5 and it doesn't show 1. I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out. Now if I go all load, cool, okay, so it loaded everything, I think. And if I go to fill A, that's variation A, fill B, fill C, fill D. This is cool. I can use this in a live performance, because you can like create a bunch of variations for what you're doing and mix it up. And so I got E, and then if I want to change, I'm on page 5. If I want to change these up a bit, it's really easy to use. Once I spent a few hours going through the manual, it's really cool. And then accent, you can do accent. Right, so I get this, create my accents here. And so if I want to copy this pattern, I just go out to 8 pages or 8 bars I want to go. I go duplicate, pattern, boom. So now I have a pattern. If I want to save this again, I want to stop this. And you can use the external clock or internal clock. But if I want to save it, I would go memory, save, and go 6 and press global again and press off the memory. So now if I want to go load, memory, load. So this is what I don't understand. It shows 6, but it doesn't let me load 5. I don't know why that is. I'm trying to figure that out. I guess that's what I need to ask WMD about, because I read the manual and the videos and it wasn't really clear. You also got these pages. So I don't know. And it's current step C, D, E, and there's like a decimal point. So yeah, I'm making progress on learning this thing. It's a great sequencer once you learn it. It's just kind of it's a lot to learn because there's a lot of functions on it, and they're kind of in these little menu items. So I'm sure there's a way to do stuff on it. I still have to go through and spend some time with it. But this is kind of like the year of sequencers, so I'm kind of going to focus on learning to use all my sequencers because they're so powerful to create variations and patterns and stuff. So like I got my Stilson hammer, which is great for melodies and stuff, and I have it clocked with Metron. So that's a pretty good combo. And there's also a bunch of other stuff I'm learning on here, but that's the one thing I can't figure out. So if I press that, all right, so I wonder how, if I do A and load, I wonder if I hold A and load. No, that's something different. But I think you load, you save it, because global is different, right? That's your internal clock. But you got to press the memory button, and then you go load. Yeah, that's one thing I haven't figured out yet. There's also, so it just shows L6, A, B, C, D, E, all. Huh, that's weird. I guess all is if you want to load everything you got saved, and then just try it. Let's see. All right, cool. So now if I play it, record, reset, I kind of wish it just had a play button and a stop button. To be honest, when it comes to design choices on this module, I like it. It's a good sequencer, but I kind of wish they would just put like play and stop. Maybe I'm just obtuse that way. I like simplicity. I like this sequencer, it does a lot. Maybe they made a design choice that way. WMD has a way. I like their drum modules too. They sound really cool and they're fun. So record reset is when you start playing it again. And then if you want to change the variation, there's a chain mode too I haven't figured out yet. So I'm on E. So if I want to go to A, so I go to A. See, everything changes. If you go to page 1, and if I go to B, it goes to B1. And if I go to C, this is what I had to read the manual about. You got to press the fill button, and then you got to press C, and then go to C. And if you want to press D, it goes to D. And these lights are the ones lit up for your pattern, your triggers, or whatever. And then E. So this is really cool. So I guess if, I change D and I do this, some other stuff. So I change that, and then I change a couple other things. And then I save it. Oh, I wonder if I have to go, I'm just curious if I have to go back to 1. All right, cool. So I wonder if that's what I did wrong. Because I wonder if I do load. Oh, wow. I think I figured this out. Okay, I am dense. Okay, so apparently when you save it, like let's say I create a different pattern, memory load. So it won't let you go to any other one but all. So it looks like L1 is what I was saved last time, all. This is kind of weird. I'm gonna ask him about that. That's kind of weird. I don't know what's up with that. That's kind of strange. So if I just do that, and let's say I create a different pattern, right? So if I go create a something wacky or whatever, change this up a bit, and I go out to 8 pages and duplicate it. That's a cool feature, duplicating the pattern. I like that. Duplicate pattern. Right now I got all my 8. So now, and if I go memory save again, save S2, and I go here and I go global to save it again. All right, cool. So what happens if I want to load it? If I go load, see, it won't let me go, the encoder won't let me go to L1 or L2. This is weird. I gotta ask WMD about this. This is something I'm not really quite sure of. So if I just get out of that, and if I go back to memory and I go load, see, check that out. It won't let me load 1. So I'm kind of wondering how I fix that. I'm gonna have to email them about that. Usually they're pretty good. Alex has some good videos I've been watching too, but I'm just trying to figure out why it won't let me, see that? It won't let me load. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I'm just stupid or stuck on this. I stopped posting as much on forums because people just give me a hard time about stuff. Even though I'm like, well, I don't know everything. I mean, I just started learning modular, and people have been doing this for 20 years and know everything, I guess. So I go, okay, so that's all DABL1. So that's kind of a weak point of the sequencer, I think, or my lack of understanding, one of the two. Because it won't let me load 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5. It only lets me load last saved one, all. So I don't know what the deal with that is. I gotta ask WMD about that. That's kind of a one frustrating thing I'm trying to figure out. Maybe it's just something I'm not doing right. I don't know, whatever. So anyways, like if I change the pattern again, and I go out to 8 bars again and copy it. I go duplicate pattern, and I go to save memory, and that's flashing. And maybe I go to save, and I go to, let's see what happens, L12, and if I save it there, cool, so that's done. That memory is flashing. Maybe it's using the memory card. I know they say in the menu you got to use the memory card. Now if I go memory load, see that? I guess it makes you load the last one. That's interesting. I like the sequencers. It's kind of, it's not like on other, like on my electrons where I can pick the menu and load it, which is much easier. I don't know. Maybe I'm just limitation. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna go load all. So now if I record reset and I want to play a different pattern, that's really cool how fast it changes. So anyways, I guess I'll have to figure out what I'm doing wrong there. I'm learning. I couldn't even figure out how to program this damn thing when I got it. I was like scratching my head. What? How the fuck does this thing work? I was like, I had to spend so much time on that manual and I still don't understand everything. I was like, man, this is a confusing sequencer. But it's starting to make sense now. It's just kind of confusing because you got all these like the text on here. I guess they didn't want to use a big menu diving screen, which is probably my thought when William Matheson of WMD designed this thing. He probably made it for live performance, which now with COVID is kind of a mute point. Nobody's going to be performing live for a long time. So, but I think probably because he made it, I'm just speculating at this point, because he didn't want people to have to stare at a computer screen or whatever. Like on the Stilson Hammer, it has a lot of menu diving stuff. It's not too bad. But on Eloquencer, you got menus and stuff like that. So, but it's not too bad. I like the how fast you can change things. You know, if say I change a pattern, you know, I do something here and I go waka waka here, and I kind of want to do it here. And let's say I want to copy it to like, right, so say I want to copy it out to like page 8. I can do duplicate pattern and I have it. So it's pretty cool. And then just how fast, like if I want to change like variations like A to B, see how fast, it's just instant. There's no waiting, no latency, which is really good. If I'm in a live show and I have like 30 or 40 drum patterns with like 4 to 12 drum modules in Eurorack, and I don't have to change my patching or anything, and I can just press a button and boom, it goes to a different rhythm and everything. It's really cool. And especially with the accents and the modular module for pitch sequencing. And then these are just really fun. I mean, they just do so much. They're really good modules. They're different than like other drum modules I've used before. So anyways, it's good stuff. I just have to keep practicing and figuring it out. Cheers.